The moment you tell people you're on a diet, everything gets harder. Here's how to lose body fat without making it anyone else's problem, including yours. Hello, I'm Charlie and I'm co-founder of Potential Coaching, and over the past 3 years, we've helped transform over 500 people's lives. If you're looking for help with your weight loss journey, there'll be a link in the description below for you to fill out. The problem that occurs when announcing you're trying to lose body weight, you're going into a diet, is everyone's got an opinion. Everyone's going to be giving their views on should you go on a diet, should you not. You're going to have the social pressures. Some people will police what you eat. You'll get people that will say, oh, one bite won't hurt, da 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 da, and just not being as respectful. But also it can create kind of like a negative space when going out for food or when having family meals, because people can then question, oh, are you meant to be having that? Are you allowed to have that? And it's just something that you don't want, which can easily knock you off the journey, off the momentum that you're in, and just make it so much harder on yourself psychologically, which just feels like one slip will make you spiral. Obviously, if you do slip up, it can be public knowledge. When I say public knowledge, I just mean family. But every person is going to be watching you a little bit more. They're going to be critiquing you a little bit more, and everyone's going to have their opinion of what you should be doing or what you can and can't do. If you've ever noticed, you've tried to lose weight before, you might have had a partner that gave his negative view, or you might have had your parents say something. It's harder. You have family meals, you have takeaways, you have holidays. You can get a little bit stressed thinking about them. Firstly, you've got one side of it as, am I working towards these goals where everyone knows that I'm working towards this and I've got this event coming up? Am I going to be in the shape that I want to be? That side of it. But then also you have a family meal. You might not want certain foods. Let's say it's like a much fattier option, or you don't want to have a dessert because you want to stay under your calorie goal and stay in more control. And then you've got your dad at that meal making a comment of, oh, you should, no. That's one of the biggest things, and that is one of the biggest pressures when it comes to announcing a diet to people that you know, that can lead you to go down one or the other route. You're going to have supportive people, and then you're going to have unsupportive people. The unsupportive people will outweigh the supportive people, not just saying like your family and friends aren't going to be supportive. It's just the little comments which will start to chip away ever so slightly. So what approach do you need to take? Now, I don't want you to change any food that you're having. Yes, let's say you're going out for food, I wouldn't get a starter, main and dessert, I would just stick for a main. What you can do on these meals, so there is nothing different to what you're having, your sister's having, your brother's having, your mum's having, your aunt's having, like all of that stays the same. It's just have the same food as everyone else, but adjust the portions. So if you know, you normally have a massive bowl of spag bowl when you go around for a Sunday dinner. Who's having a spag bowl as Sunday dinner? But let's just take that as an example. So when you have the family meal and you're having a spag bowl and you normally have 2 bowls of it, just have the one. That way you're in a lot more control there. But also, it means then you're not doing anything differently. You're still involved in all these social things and you can't feel left out, but you just are limiting a little bit more of what you're having, but you're still being able to enjoy things. What you could also do, especially if you know it's a takeaway, a family meal, is just pre-plan around that. Have that as the main meal of the day and just adjust what you eat throughout. But obviously, if you're trying to lose weight with your family, we don't expect you to be cooking multiple meals. We want everyone to have the same meals. It's just a little bit of different control. That way, 1, you save time, you're not cooking for everyone. 2, you're not feeling left out. And 3, no one can make a comment about what food that you're having. Then, when it comes to actually plating up your food, what I want you to do is pick your protein source first. Put that on the plate. Always build your meals around the protein source. So you've got that on. Aim to have it be around a quarter of the plate. That's going to be a good chunk that keeps you full. Then the rest of the food, you can start to plate around that. But as long as you've got the protein source, which out of the 3 macros is the one that you want to aim towards, you're in a great position. So then when it comes to the actual socializing stuff, what you need to look at is alcohol. They can come into place at these social occasions. Now, alcohol is probably where the hidden calories are. For 1 meal, it's 7 calories, which can mean you can overindulge by having the alcohol. So you could have 3 or 4 drinks, 3 or 4 beers, 3 or 4 glasses of wine, could add up to, say, 600 calories. What I would recommend you do is go for a white spirit. So you got gin or you got vodka. Per shot, they're around 50 ml. So if you have a single vodka with diet lemonade, it's basically a 50 to 60 calorie drink. Whereas if you're on for a pint, it could be 200 plus. So just that small little swap there means you can still have the alcoholic drink if you want, still have as much control as possible, while saving calories by not having the beer. I also have found that if you are someone that's like, I need to have, or I don't like any other things, I only like beer or I only like rosé, what I would do is either have a smaller pint, so have a half pint and you can spread that out a little bit easier, or have a pint, have a soft drink, have a pint, have a soft drink. It balances out then. You could still have 2 pints over a 4-hour period rather than having 4 pints over a 4-hour period, which is saving the calories there. Then when it comes to your actual foods, choices when out, as mentioned, just stick for the main meal, control what you have building up to it. But when it comes to looking at the menu, just go for things that are grilled, baked, and avoid things that are fried, battered, breaded. That's where the extra calories come from. A lot of people will feel like they've failed when they have these social events because they can't track everything. Now, you don't have to track calories obsessively to lose weight. You need to look at it more as, if you can have a rough idea of what you're having, have a little bit of awareness with what you're having throughout that day, throughout that meal, you will stay more in control long term than feeling like you have to track every calorie, because the result is you're probably not going to remember everything that you've had. You won't be able to dive right into the menu and be like, oh, they gave me 10 ml of oil here, they gave me this, they gave me that. It's just hard. So it's better to have the awareness of what you're having when you're out than trying to be critical and tracking every calorie that you have. That way, you're still in control and you can enjoy things. A little bit off topic that part was, but going out still, it falls in the same thing. And what you need to just look at when it comes to mindset side of things is, it doesn't have to become a personality, and it will not become your personality. It's not going to become your identity. You don't have to announce it. You can be quietly consistent with working towards your own goals, and that's going to beat any type of motivation. Just keep quietly consistent, pushing towards your goals. The people will see how hard you've worked towards the back end. I think if you can focus on yourself, build that routine first. If you know that there's going to be negatives from you talking about going into on a diet, then I would just keep it to yourself and keep pushing. There's obviously coaching things where you can get it. There's groups on Instagram, groups on Facebook. You will find people that will support you along this journey. So if you feel that the family, the friends, it's not going to come from that, don't feel like you have to announce it. You can do a lot of things by controlling what you have, portion sizes, meal choices, and still stay in your deficit without having to tell them. And the best mindset approach to have and look at it is, this is not a diet. You are not looking to diet for 12 weeks and that's it. You want this to slowly become a lifestyle change that you don't want to escape from. So just making these small little tweaks will help you so much. But it also means you can still have the foods that you love, just in a little bit more controlled manner. You can have the results that you want with the controlled manner and be able to live a life, which I think is the biggest win overall. If you like this video, make sure you have liked and subscribed. I'm going to be posting 2 weight loss videos a week to help with your weight loss journey.